Now, that was not the first time you played that scene.
No. So when Leonard and I first spoke, when I had COVID, fuck COVID, and we were talking about this evening and how thrilled I was and honored to have been chosen. You know, we talked about this sort of overarching idea because, as you guys can tell, I don't take much very seriously. And, you know, seriously, I'm pretty loose about it all. I'm not. And trying to think of, like, what has actually brought me to this place as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as an artist, as a business owner, as a creator, as a thinker. And it's about understanding and claiming my power, understanding and claiming what, in fact, I can and am doing here on this earth, and trusting my instincts. And this is a great example of me not trusting my instinct and it biting me in the ass and then having the courage to say. So briefly, the scene with Otto that you guys just saw, that's how it's written. And when we first rehearsed the scene, John and Charles Crichton said, what we want is for Kevin to be in total motion. And we want Wanda to be sitting stock still on a bed. It used to take place in a room in their apartment. And I said, really? I just don't feel like it. That would be what she would do. And he's like, yes, you just stay there and Kevin's gonna walk fast. And we rehearsed it. And I still didn't feel that it was the right instinct. I was trying to trust my instinct. And we showed it, we did a little rehearsal, and people laughed. And they were just thrilled. You know, John was like, yes, this is great. So then I just kept my mouth shut. And when we went to shoot it in that little room, we showed it to the crew. You know, bring the crew in, you show them. And it was crickets. It was as silent as it was in here a second ago. I mean, it was deathly quiet. And my soul crushed, because it was the biggest scene for me in the movie. And we shot it, and we shot it that way. We shot all of it. We shot his coverage, my coverage, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And the day that the dailies were shown, I waited outside the door of the dailies room with my ear to the door, and I could hear there wasn't any laughter, and I started to cry. And when they all came out, I said to Michael Schamberg, I said, we have to reshoot that scene. We have to reshoot that scene. I should have trusted my gut. Please let me reshoot that scene. I'll do anything. I'll pay for the scene, whatever it is. And he said, we have no time on the schedule. We're already late, blah, 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 blah. I said, please. And I kept pushing, and I kept pushing, and I persevered. And we shot that scene the last day of the movie. And that's now the scene in the movie now. And it, of course, is just this fantastic scene with great writing. And it would have, I think they would have cut the scene because it was death. It was absolute death. So again, trusting my instinct brought that scene to the fruition. And I was 20, what was I, 25? 26? I mean, I was a young girl. I didn't know yet that I was right. Now I do.
Was Catherine Bigelow the first female director you worked with?
No, I did, when I decided to make no more horror films, which you know, I know all the Nepo baby jokes, believe me, I've heard them all. And it's fine. Bring it, I don't care. The great benefit to being the daughter of people in this industry is you know how difficult the industry is. You know what to avoid. And I watched both my parents deal with pigeonholing, and I knew that if I had continued doing horror films, I would not get to do other work. I just knew it. And so I made a conscious choice to do the last Halloween, which was Halloween 2, and then say no more. And the first job that I got post-Halloween, a week later, was to play Dorothy Stratton in a TV movie called Death of a Centerfold. She was the playmate who was killed by her husband, Paul. And and that was directed by a woman, Gabrielle Beaumont. And so I had worked with a woman on that, which was incredibly difficult material. And then Catherine Bigelow.
And that was for Blue Steel.
Yes.
And we're going to see a clip from that.
Ooh, goody.
And then a movie that just stands out like neon in your filmography, True Lies.
So great.
And there's so much to talk about there, but maybe we should save this till after the film clip.
Sure.
Okay, let's watch these two clips.
Okay.